The bloodbath. That's right. What in the world is going on with crypto and why is it bleeding out tremendously like it got shot in the throat? Well, we're going to discuss that today. So thank you for joining me. Do subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell for all the notifications for cryptocurrency news. Now, let's speak about Bitcoin. Now, we've covered Bitcoin kind of a lot, especially like when we were speaking about November, December, those areas, right? It's more like in the end of October. We were talking about how Bitcoin is very, very much, well, possibly going to fall below 50 grand, right? I said 55, it's 50 now. Today it's sitting at 42 and a half. So 42K and a half, and it continues to fall. Now, what is going on with this? Now, typically, given how the market's really kind of stringing out, even with basic stock, is kind of choking the world right now. So even with regular stock, people are panicking out, right? They see the inflation going up, you see this crisis, that crisis, and people are freaking out. But we're also in this winter time, and it's kind of typical where it's going to go. But January is still just starting; it still can come back up. But right now we are in a death grip, right? So this is kind of what's happening, and we'll go in and look at it now. Let's look at Bitcoin. As we're sitting, Bitcoin had actually started to move more. I can't really say a range. It is a range when we're speaking about like from the 11th of December, right? We had all of this kind of moving in, right? Middle of December, we're just kind of moving pretty slow, like bouncing up here, like right off support, being what right here. But we are, and it started going up. We had this big high. Now, as I'm always telling you, like the MACD and the moving averages, and we started to see that they started going back up with not quite enough volume coming in. Now, the thing here is that, of course, as we're moving, it had the potential going up, and it did, and it started moving up over the 22nd, right, December, right as Christmas is kind of finishing up, but it just didn't have the strength, and you can see that, honestly, the sellers started to take power back from the buyers here. Now, of course, it was really volatile. As you can see, these candles, when we're looking at the buying candles, right, compared to the selling candles, it's not normal for what it's been in the last couple of trends. It's quite bigger than normal, right? And so this is also signifying that there's going to be a reversal coming up. And that's what we had. Even when we're looking at the moving day averages, right, when we're looking really close, like right here, we were in a deathly way from like the 28th of December, right? It started getting like right here, the 31st, New Year's, right? It started getting really bad and really close. But you see those moving averages, when they cross over, especially when they cross from the top and down, from like the 20-day and the 90-day, that's a big sign. And that's a big sign that it's going to go further down. And it did. And it did exactly that. So if we're looking at like January 3rd, it made that cross. And this is this candle right here. And this was a big sign. This was your moment to either get out or to expect a little bit of stressful situations. But this is where we are. It's sitting up. It looks like it started selling out more, but we did have some buying going on from the last day. So where we can see it, it still looks like maybe it's going to start getting a little bit easier, but I could expect it to hit 40K, honestly, if it continues in this trend. Expect it to hit 40K. I think maybe in March it'll start picking back up. February it'll start really jumping back up. But even if you see, I mean, it's really not very good. The last time we've seen such a really downfall was like back in May, really, or like June, I'm sorry. When you compare, like June had that same kind of way. Now, if we're looking in the further back in the time frame, right, December of last year, January, this is again the same thing. Maybe not so dramatic that we had, but that's what we did have the same. So like January 9th, we hit that top piece here. And why it looks so bad is because, of course, it was like slowly climbing back up, but we still have it like in January where it just kind of really suffered down through here, and even through mid-January. It didn't start getting back up until February, and that's what I would expect the same. And to see, like, you're not going to always see like a big bull run coming in here, but what you can expect is for it to recover some. Even in October, like it was just kind of hurting. But what makes it look so bad now is that because we've been on this downward trend, and plus you had Omicron coming out, you had these different variations and different reasons to really why. And of course, being Granddaddy Bitcoin, it is going to carry the other coins down and out with it. So that's why we're seeing this huge bleed out across the entire market. But it does have the possibility to come back up. Of course, we're looking at it. We do want to see that moving average kind of lop in from underneath. You can see every time when this moving average right here kind of comes back up, we have a good run. When it comes back down, it's down. So we definitely want to see that. And it's not too far in. So about mid-January, February coming in, I would expect us to start making some recovery. And by March, into February, March, we should actually start making some of our losses back. Given that uh, given that everything works in our way, of course. But if I had a crystal ball, then of course I wouldn't have any problems, now would I? Let's look Ethereum too. Ethereum had been doing really well. I was expecting it to really jump up, but this was that crucial moment where we were in we fell below, and this was really kind of the signal here. We fell below support here in this vortex. Of course, like we rose above it, we retested, we came back down, right? We fell below support, we came back up. Well, it did make that move. This is one we're always telling, like, wait for like 2 or 3 days. If it falls below support or if it actually breaks above resistance, this is where you want to kind of wait it out. Like, cause I know like they're trying to read different graphs, and they're looking into it, and they're like, and they see like this one little candle like really breaking up, like, oh my god, it's going to the moon, it's jumping, it's Ethereum all the way, right? And that's cool, but you can never be too sure about it. So you always wait for like one or two candles, right? I like the 3 candle rule. It's what I was taught. So 3 candles in after it breaks, like this one's a 1, 2, 3, and it's going down. Especially the fourth one, it really showed me like, okay, it's not. And of course, we had this plummet on the 28th. So we fell back down too, and then it started showing like it was going back up, right? The same thing is going on. So it broke through, and this is that candle. So we're gonna really see where it's coming from now. The fact that Ethereum is kind of showing the same kind of thing, we're still in this where it crossed as well right here. We're still in this downward trend. It looks like it's only getting stronger. We definitely want to see that moving average coming back in, so it could potentially fall back down too. But we've seen the same thing with Solana as well. Solana had actually fallen pretty deep before, and it did recover and really jump back up. Just it's a long haul coin, guys. It's a long haul coin. And so I think we'll see this too. Of course, Uniswap's coming up, but as of right now, the volume is pretty high for this, and we really need to shift power back to the buyers because the sellers is in such a strong way right now. But you can see the candles are getting smaller here as well as the volume into it. So I think once we can kind of get some buying back going into it, Ethereum will jump back up potentially, but it's just too close to call at this time. Another one of those coins is AVAX sitting right now. Now, I'm a big believer in AVAX. I love AVAX. I think it's a great, great coin. We're still kind of in the same way here too. We got really close to like really breaking out again and coming up. But we have this way. We have support kind of sitting at what, $78 right now. So it's pretty strong. But we still have that downward trend happening as well. Not the most beautiful. I don't like it. This is pretty ugly, right? But when we're seeing this two-sided wicks here, it gives me hope. It does start to show that that people are kind of like starting to buy back into, especially in the past day or so. But we are still kind of in this downward trend. But the power too, as well, you can see it's kind of coming in. The power is losing power for the sellers, which is a good thing. So the buyers can potentially pick back up. It's not over for AVAX, not by a long shot. So given that it was just like what, almost the end of December, it was 123. Now it's 90. All right, and back in November, it was actually 136 as well. So it's not too far. It's kind of some sideways action, if you would, if you really want to look at it. It's still just kind of hanging out. But we do want to see it actually kind of start breaking up of this. We are in a danger zone for AVAX right here, being that it's right in this line. We don't want to see that. We do want to see it right around in this, at least this part of the vortex, right? The upper side of the channel. That's where we want to see it coming in, because if we don't see that and it does end, we could fall below support as well, and that's where we don't want to. The closer we get to the support, the more dangerous is it to trade. But right now we're still in a good moment, and we would see the same thing coming in. I think here, honestly, the same thing for Bitcoin. February, the closer we get to February, it's going to move back up, and of course the crypto spring will be in play. And so it's not such a bloodbath that we're just going to die coming into it, but we have potential to actually continue to go up. Now, Matic is one of those ones that is fighting for another. I'm also a big, huge Matic fan. Guys, look, it took a hit too, the 27th. It took a pretty hard hit, like the 28th as well. And it's fighting through. You can see this is another sign here that came in. That was a hard point, right? So it kind of crossed into, not at the right moment. Now, when you see them cross, like when they cross really bigger, this is what you want. You can see it was really strong, and then it just kind of like lost the power and it started shifting over. But the price action. Now, the price action as it's sitting for AVAX is going to fall lower. So if we're speaking about what 217 where it is now, right? The support here, let's see, honestly, we want to call it about right there. When we're speaking on this, right? So $2, right? Really being support for this, it's going to fall below support, I believe, honestly. For Matic, it's going to fall. It's going to fall about $2, and then before it really starts to pick back up again. But man, Matic is such a good coin, and it's really strong. It just has everybody freaking out. And we spoke about how really when people are really panicking, panic mode, they're just like sell, 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 sell. Well, this is what we have right now, but it will pick back up. We still have some strong buying action going on, and I think even the selling action is getting weaker and weaker. So I think we can still see it kind of come back up again, and that's what we need to do to bring this moving average back up. And of course, the more we see that moving average coming back up, it's going to give us a higher possibilities of hope, right? All in all, let's look at the market. Like, so Bitcoin is sitting at 42K, 42.5, down by 44% for the daily, 12%, so double digits for the week. Ethereum's double digits down for the week, almost 14%, almost 3% for the daily. We have Solana sitting at 405 for the day, double digits, 19.5 for the weekly as well, so very ugly. Cardano is just kind of hanging out. This is the price for Cardano, honestly, at $1.24. So it's up by 2.86% and down by 9.77 for the weekly. XRP is down by almost double digits, by 9% for the weekly, 3.38 for the daily as well. Polkadot 7.5 for the week, not even like 0.01% up for the week or the daily. AVAX is sitting by double digits, down at 15 and 11% for the weekly, and 2.26 for the daily. You can see what these coins are doing, right? It's all double digits down. It's natural. It's the game. You guys know this. You've been in here long enough. You're watching me. You know this is the game, and this is not the first time we're seeing, down double digits. 19 and 38 for the weekly. It is up for Chainlink, which is really good. It's one coin that's actually really kind of profiting off this. And Atom is doing really good at 33.77%. So watch out for this Atom. We were talking about this too. So out of the top 20, definitely out of the top 10, these coins are really going to do a lot better than the main coins that everybody's like freaking out on. So Cosmos, Atom's doing good. Algo is doing pretty bad, but it's still the same kind of going on as well. Litecoin, double digits down. Phantom, we spoke about Phantom the other day, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I told you that Phantom is going to be one of these coins that really goes up, and it is. So for the weekly, it's up by 25% and 5.73. Let's see, we also have Internet Computer 1261% as well. So we'll cover some more of these coins later on. And so you can actually see some really good things going on, not just a complete bloodbath. Don't slit your wrist yet. Hold on, it's going to get better. This is just name of the game. This is just this time of the year. You see this, you guys know. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Stay positive, stay optimistic, subscribe, drop a comment below, and hit the bell for the latest news in cryptocurrency.